all day.
A lot of ones. I know there's been a lot of snake eyes in the room, but let's keep it to the cards.
Yep. This is going to be an Australia versus France matchup.
Ooh. Not a big a fan of Khalees's hand here, but like it definitely works depending on how many interruptions are coming down from Baptiste.
Main phase.
All right, we made it to the main phase.
A few
No
things
mulch
checked
armies.
off. The Divine Temple comes down here. Let's see what he's going to place from his deck.
Oh, I know some players out there love the combo of Field Spell plus Snake Eye Oak. We're going to have to see if that's going to be something that's going to come from Khalees here. Let's see what he places in his spell and trap card zone. It's going to be Snake Eye's Diabell Star.
Yeah, there's an argument that Field Spell plus Snake Eye Oak may be better than just opening Snake Eye Ash.
I mean, it's a great way to get to Snake Eye Ash.
It is a 2-card combo.
But let's see if that is what he's going to do here. He's going to send the Diabell Star and the Oak and potentially access Snake Eye Ash.
Gotta confirm what cards were in the hand there real quick. I think those 3 cards are the ones that go back in the deck.
Yeah, they just kind of slipped over there.
Oh, good. Sorry.
Nobody saw them, though, so it should be no harm done.
That's correct. Those were separate.
All right, now let's see if he's going for that Snake Eye Ash. Why this is a little bit better than just starting with Snake Eye Ash. You're able to get to Flamebirch before 5 summons, but when that Flamebirch does go to the graveyard, you can bring back that Oak, and then the Oak can bring back another monster. So it's like Flamebirch turns into 3 monsters potentially, but while you're able to still play around Nibiru in the beginning part.
Yeah, like potentially stronger output, but a lot riskier, right? There could be a lot more things that could happen to you coming from Baptiste end.
True. But Poplar is going to the hand, then special summoning to the field, and then we're going to see original Sinful Spoils be added to the hand off that Snake Eyes Poplar.
Baptiste checks his cards there. Whole lot of green over on his side of the field.
And then he's going to link away Poplar for Anima, so Poplar can place that Snake Eyes Diabell Star in the spell and trap card zone.
You can see some of the nerves here for Khalees. He's slipping over his cards a little bit here. Wants to be really careful, make sure he plays proper.
As I mentioned, this is a huge match.
Yeah,
for him.
absolutely. They're playing for everything here.
I mean, the winner of this is looking good for top 8. Baptiste is going to have a potential, tiebreaker situation if there's any other players that have 2 losses in 1 draw. But Khalees will be feeling really good when he wins this if he has at his chances of making top 8.
Going to be using that Ashes effect here, sending itself as well as the Snake Eye Oak. Going to be summoning out that Flamebirch. Now that it's on the field, I imagine Khalees is going to take a look at his extra deck. Really considering his options before going into the moon in the closed heaven with the Anima as well as Snake Eye Diabell Star. That moon will soon be transformed into the Requiem. Requiem is going to go through with his effect now.
Still no responses here from Baptiste.
I mean, there's been a few checkpoints up to this point as far as what you'd expect. But usually once you get to this segment of the combo, then you're looking for pairs, right? Because anything that hasn't been used now, you're going to attempt to use in pairs. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to still have them.
Like the fruit, a pair?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, you mean like a couple. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But original symbols, it's been a long day, but original symbols Spoils is going to send. That was so funny in my head. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stop myself. But original simple Spoils is going to send that Requiem to the graveyard, bring out a level 1 monster. Now they're going to be quickly linked away into Fiendsmith Sequence.
Sequence is going to be able to use its effect here, putting back the, well, maybe not the Engraver, yep, going for the moon as well as the Requiem.
Yeah, he's one step ahead of what he's looking for here. He's going to get that Engraver back just in a moment.
You have to wonder how many times he's done this today.
Okay, well, the next step after the Flamebirch puts the IP would be to go into Nightmare Phoenix to protect that Appaloosa from battle.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I have to randomize the deck before you draw.
Yeah, we see that the Princess has hit the graveyard as well. The only thing I was looking for is if you did end up using the Fiendsmith Engraver to add track to your hand, maybe you wanted to find a way to put Desiree on the field.
While they're randomizing the deck, we have a couple results coming in. Table 6, Ruben has won game number 1.
Very good, very good.
Table 1, Jose has won game number 1.
Ooh. Yeah, funny note about Ruben. He's played at least 3 rounds against other players from North America this tournament. But it looks like Baptiste is going to start with Wanted Seeker, the Sensible Spoils.
I mean, this is what happens when you don't have any points of interaction from the hand. That usually means you have all engine. Sometimes that's enough to push through.
You know, Wanted, we haven't seen a lot of it today. I mean, it is limited to one, so it makes a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
But Divine Temple of the Snake Eye coming down here.
This does help play through things a little bit.
You still got to worry about that Appaloosa. Didn't have an infinite impermanence or anything like that to shut it off before the turn started. I mean, this isn't a lot. I mean, Appaloosa plus Flamebridge into IP, it represents a decent amount of interruptions. There's also the Princess in the graveyard. We luckily get to see it there on the top of the graveyard.
I think this is an interesting point, though, because now that the both temples are on the field, if Baptiste summons a monster here, Khalees can use his own temple to summon the Ash from his opponent's side. And then after that, there's nothing else on the spell and trap zones except for the IP, which Flamebridge can use. So we're making sure to clear it away with the Diabell Star here, which makes a lot of sense. All right, opting to just use the effect of the temple here to put the IP onto the field, and then Veiloring the Diabell Star as well.
It's always tough when you have that established board and you're like, okay, I might be able to play this, and then they have more of those hand interactions from the hand that you aren't readily know about. But he has Cross-Out Decimator.
Here we go.
Platinum rare out of Rarity Collection 2. Looks beautiful. And that's another card we haven't seen a lot of today. Not that everyone isn't using it. It's just at one during this tournament, since we do have that combined Forbidden Limited list with the OCG and TCG.
Now that IP Masquerena is vulnerable to being attacked over, even though the Appaloosa is not, because we didn't opt to use the Appaloosa here prior.
So the effective
IP is going to potentially link away with the Flamebridge here. It looks like we're going into Little Knight. Yep, we're going to be using the IP Masquerena as well as the Flamebridge. Placing the IP co-linked to the Nightmare Phoenix.
Little Knight targeting.
It's going to be protected by battle as well. SP Little Knight's going after the original Sinful Spoils, banishing that away.
Interesting choice with the Wanted in the graveyard. Baptiste will be able to use the Wanted to get an additional draw here.
And be able to potentially search it out again with something like Snake Eyes Poplar.
Poke target.
A full board of monsters here for Khalees.
This is a tough one, but because he didn't have all of those cards in hand to fight against building it, it's got to be ways to help him get through it.
Certainly is the case. And I mean, this Wanted, putting back the original Sinful Spoils, it's tough. You couldn't really go after the Diabell Star there with the SP Little Knight because he still has the Divine Temple he could send with the original Sinful Spoils. So maybe he's just hoping that even though he's giving him one more draw, he's not going to have a way to access something like Poplar. Because the one Snake Eye Ash is gone, he's going to need something like Bonfire to be able to go into that line.
And he still has all the uses of that Appaloosa as well.
And it was made with, what, 3?
Through
Link 2 and 2 other monsters?
Yep, most likely.
He used the Fiendsmith package to do it, I think. And it also is protected by battle, which is huge. But now the chain of the Bestial to the activation of Appaloosa is going to let him get another monster onto the field.
Target.
But he's going to use SP Little Knight targeting his Oak and Baptiste Oak.
Just get it off the field so I can't use its effect to summon another monster from the deck.
So that is a Druid's Worm.
Target Princess targeting.
All right, Princess is going to target Poplar and the Black Witch. And that's all Baptiste needs to see. He's not going to be able to play through this board, and he's going to concede game number 1. All right, let's see if there's a Mulcharming Perilia or anything crazy here from Khalees before Baptiste can do his first action, and it doesn't look like he's going to activate anything quite just yet.
A Diabell Star giving up a Nibiru the Primal Being here.
That's tough. Even when I open up a Nibiru going first, I want to do everything I can to try and keep it in my hand, just kind of as that fallback plan, just in case something goes wrong.
And they were normal summoning the Poplar as well. Trying to eat up some interruptions from Khalees here, bait things out. Gonna add the Divine Temple. Divine Temple is going to be activated, going to place something from the deck to the Spell and Trap Zone.
Small reads you can kind of get from this play here, because if he had another starter or something that can normal summon, you would definitely discard the Poplar with the Diabell Star to place it in the Spell and Trap card zone potentially. But those are like the little things you need to pick up as you're playing. But yeah, the Divine Temple is going to place the Snake Eyes Diabell Star in the Spell and Trap zone.
And now I imagine he's trying to keep the Snake Eye part of his strategy in the back. Try to get as many responses from Khalees as he can. That's why we're going into the Moon of the Closed Heaven, start accessing that Fiendsmith engine, and set up some protection before we commit any further. Gonna go into the Requiem, immediately use Requiem's effect. Get the Engraver on the field.
All right, Snake Eyes Elbow is just going to be able to special summon itself from the Spell and Trap Zone by placing a fire monster from the graveyard in the Spell and Trap Zone.
No.
More Link summoning action coming down. Fiendsmith sequence is next.
Sequence is activating its effect now. Going to be able to shuffle back the Requiem and the Closed Goddess, or Closed Heaven.
I will chain Baldrake targeting Engraver.
Yep, Lacrima targeted the Engraver, and there was a chain of Baldrake going after the same Engraver. Tactics is activated, going to look at Khaleesi's hand, and that is a powerful one. Lots of starters.
Wow. Takes
Really?
that talents.
Instantly goes for triple tactics talent.
I like that a lot, actually, taking their talents away.
Yeah, and taking away any tools he really has to pick apart the board outside of any of those hard ones for turn effects that are natural to the combo. And now he knows that he's free to go. There are no more disruptions in Khaleesi, so he can play freely.
Another player we're keeping our eye on, Shinichi, the rescue ace duelist, has tied things up on table number 8. It's 1-1.
Poplar uses its effect on the field now, and as well as in the graveyard to place itself in the Spell and Trap Zone.
That's fine.
Ash is going to resolve successfully here. Well, everything's going to resolve successfully. We've seen Khaleesi's hand.
Yep, no surprises anymore.
Where is Baptiste going to go next with this? Got a few options.
He is free to go, but he still has to make sure he makes no missteps. Sometimes when you get a little overconfident after resolving a tactics like that, you know there's nothing stopping you. You can get a little ahead of yourself. So make sure he collects himself here, plays through his plays, not necessarily slowly, but just giving some caution to him. Okay,
Espiel Knight's going to go after Bestial Baldrake.
Can't attack directly this turn anyway, so or at all, so it doesn't matter that you give up that ability with Little Knight.
he knows his opponent's hand is Diabellstar, Bonfire, as well as, was it Poplar?
I don't think it was Temple.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was Temple,
That
yes.
was Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. Promethean Princess is going to bring back that Snake Eyes Flame Birds Dragon to the field.
Now, this is where some people have been bringing out the Desiree to negate the Princess, but here we're actually going to get the Link 4 monster,
Well,
or Link 2 monster, rather.
Yep, just going into, maybe doesn't play or wants to waste like something like Nightmare Phoenix, going into Hida here. Not usually where you want to see it in the main monster zone, but I don't think it'll be there for very long.
just going into Appaloosa here. Some of these duelists not that big a fan of Desiree. I mean, he did lose the Engraver from the Baldrake, so it must be a lot more difficult to do so.
It's a little tough.
Randomizing.
And he's going to end here on a 3-shot Appaloosa, along with Divine Temple. Little Knight is a spell card right now, and Flamberge Dragon's still here.
You hit your extra deck. Oh no, that's the card in hand. Yeah.
Still having the card in hand to back up the field here. He did give up the Nibiru, so at the minimum, this card is stronger than that. Or, you know, so Baptiste thinks so.
Top 10.
Probably better for having with a full field, or a field.
Okay.
Going to be using the effect of Flamberge in the standby phase.
And there she is again in the card highlight, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess.
Baptiste now knows that Khaleesi plays the tactics, but now he knows that he drew the infinite impermanence. So the
Huge
rest,
draw.
yeah,
That's a big
that's a
one.
very, very good draw.
Standby. Main phase.
He used it on the Flamebridge, yeah?
He
But
used
he's-
it on the Flamberge, yes.
So he still has the Divine Temple.
He used it on the Flamberge.
Okay, so now there's still the Bonfire as well as the Diabellstar.
And that also means that the Appaloosa keeps all of the attack points.
Exactly. There's a lot of threats remaining here, so now he can do some chain blocking.
Chaining on which chaining to popular target itself.
Yeah, so because of this, you're not super concerned with using Appaloosa here. You're not going to use it to attempt to stop the Poplar, but you can use your Divine Temple now.
I don't know. How many? What is his Appaloosa at? 2,400, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you just use it here because he's threatened with the battle phase. So you might as well stop the Poplar from getting a little bit of extra value potentially.
I was more so concerned with if you use the Appaloosa, then you don't get to use the Divine Temple.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. But it does look like he ended up using the Appaloosa.
Attempt to.
Yeah, but you have to go to battle phase here, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to allow the Appaloosa to get any more value.
Because we know the last card in his hand is Bonfire.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good one.
It is a good one, and the Appaloosa is going to go down here.
900 damage.
So now all Baptiste has is Divine Temple.
And
Summon out SP Little Knight
7-1.
at some point during this turn.
Which isn't bad. There is still that mystery card in the hand, which again, I at least has to know as well. That card is at least as good as Nibiru the Primal Being. There's
I see
going
what
to
you're saying, because he discarded Nibiru the Primal Being
or the Diabell Star.
as opposed to this card, so he knows
Mm-hmm.
that it has to be something on that same level.
Mhm.
Could be a read that you would think it is a second copy of Nibiru. That is heads up play and things you got to think about when you're playing in a high level tournament like this.
It is Effect Veiler.
There it is. As you said, something of that same level. So he gets the SP Little Knight. He negates the Ash. But Original's going to send Ash. I think Khalees might be okay here.
This is probably fine. You can just go for Snake Eye Oak here. That can at least bring back the Snake Eye Ash, and then Little Knight can only get rid of one of them, so you have access to Flamebridge.
Yeah, you definitely go after that Oak. Yeah.
And it appears that table 1 GUA has tied it up. It is now 1-1.
Princess target from Verge. Ash.
Oh, there's still Princess in the grave. I forgot about her.
Target from Verge.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Indeed. It doesn't look like Khalees is going to have any other options here in this game, so he will probably concede here very soon.
Yeah, that was a mapped out turn from Baptiste here. He knew what interruptions he needed to do. He had a full understanding of Khalees' hand, especially after the Infinite Permanence was used. There was no more mystery to it. Had perfect knowledge.
Khalees going to check the graveyard once again. There are no answers in there. I'm wondering what he's thinking about. He does have the Oak coming back from SP Little Knight, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if coming back from the SP Little Knight will be enough. He gets a Little Knight.
I'm just trying to think what is the thought process there,
Because the attack or defense.
It comes back in the position it was in.
which was attack mode.
Yeah, I don't remember. Do you remember?
Oh, this is a big update we
I think
just
it was
got,
in-
and that is at table 6. Ruben wins game 2 and the match over Mike Thomas. So Ruben is going to be really cheering hard for Khalees. Even though he did finish with 3 losses, he started off 3-0, which, could be favorable for his tiebreakers. If any 3-loss player might make it in, it could be Ruben.
And what was Mike Thomas's record at that point? Was he
I think the
2-1?
Same. No, I
X
think.
2-1.
Oh, he was?
2-1, yeah.
X 2-1.
Oh, brutal.
Which is great for him because that eliminates one of the 2-1s.
It was great for Ruben.
Yeah.
Horrible for Mike Thomas, but unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Goes to
Main
show.
phase. Gonna link away for Nightmare Phoenix.
One Phoenix target Temple, chain into Poplar, target Big Poplar.
Target Big Poplar.
Big Poplar.
Okay.
All right, Prince is gonna bring back Flamebirds. Sounds like something's going crazy on a Duel Links just mere feet away from us.
This feels like it should be enough, right?
Oh, it's
Maybe
been
just
enough.
Push,
Yeah.
push back the Bell Star and we're good.
It was enough last turn.
This
but
is
like,
this is over 8,000 easily.
it's just to go through the motions. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
I
we
mean,
can just enter
please-
battle phase.
I can see Khalees not conceding just in case he forgets that Diabell Star can summon itself back and he doesn't use Flamebirds, but
1,000, 4,000, 6,700.
Yep, at least we'll be moving on into game number 3 here.
portion of the tournament is here.
Plenty of time left for this game. Oh, the Baptiste has the Molcharmi.
One of the fastest Perlias I've seen dropped out of the hand, so now he's going to be drawing some cards potentially.
I do see a potential response here from Khalees. Well, not really a response, but
a way to capitalize on
Yeah.
it. Essentially, yeah. But Engraver is going to be discarded from Khaleesian.
Graver's a really strong way to get through Perulia here, put up a lot of bodies on the field without having to actually summon them from the hand.
Attract. Resolution.
Nothing at resolution here. Free from Drone Lockbird, activating track now.
And it looks like Xiwei has defeated Jose at table number 1.
Ooh, that puts Jose at X2-1, right?
Body effects.
Believe it does.
Requiem.
Yep. Here comes Requiem. How long is he going to be able to go without giving any cards to Baptiste? I mean, I love cards like Mulcharmy Perelia. Like, it gives you advantage, but it also at the same time your opponent can adapt their play if they so choose to give you less cards. It's a lot of strategy involved. And Requiem is going to equip itself from the graveyard to Engraver and then be sent right back to the graveyard with original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye.
This is a really powerful use of original here. Not having to use the Diabell Star means you give one less card from the Mulcharmy. You're able to potentially summon Snake Eye Ash here, and then if you are choosing to get Poplar, we're just going to forgo the Ash entirely and go straight from Poplar, so potentially giving 0 cards to Baptiste. Snake Eye Diabell Star hits
Big
the table.
Poplar, as
Big
Baptiste
Poplar.
likes to call it.
Ooh, and another big one here at table 4. Yuto wins game 2 and finishes the match 2-0.
Yuto, let's go. I
Fire
hope he
Kings.
makes it in the top 8. I'd love to see some Fire Kings in the top 8 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship. And also, I just loved his energy on stage. He looked really excited to be there. I can't wait to see him if he makes it into the top 8. All right. Ooh,
we
Infinite
got the
Impermanence on that Fiendsmith sequence. Now Khalees might be in a little bit of trouble. He still has Engraver effect in the graveyard. So Snake Eyes Diabell Star is going to put Poplar in the spell and trap card zone as it summons itself.
Baptiste has to be happy here. No shortage of those points of interaction this time around.
Effects to gain counters. Effects to lose counters.
Celine now being able to use its effect, summon back a spellcaster from the graveyard after removing 3 counters. Likely.
I have to say, Celine on Master Duel is a little more annoying than it is in real life. You have to click
Selecting all
each
the counters.
counter that you
Yeah.
place on it. But yeah, 3 counters gained, 3 counters lost. Appaloosa comes down, and we just have an Appaloosa. And there's the card you saw, Triple Tactics Thrust. Since there was a monster effect activated this turn, he's going to be able to set a spell or trap from the deck. Probably
Does have to be a normal one.
A normal
Different
one.
dimension ground.
Not, I was going to say probably Infinite Impermanence, but it's DDG.
No, that seems a little better in this particular case.
Giving Baptiste 0 cards off the Mulcharmy, forcing him to use the Infinite Impermanence. So he's only having a 3-card hand. He's going to draw to 4 cards, having to face down Infinite Impermanence, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, as well as the different dimension ground, as well as the Temple.
For the end phase.
Incredible. That's what I like about Perelia is like it can be devastating, but it does offer you a chance to play around it if you so choose. And that just feels rewarding when you can do something like that.
The only thing is the original is in the graveyard now with, I believe, I don't know how many Snake Eyes are in there at this point.
Damn
To
my
capitalize
face.
with.
Here comes different dimension ground.
Using it instantly. Let's see how Baptiste counters this.
Now, any monster sent to the graveyard is going to be banished instead.
Yeah, a little bit of reprieve for your spell and traps, but it's still tough for the Snake Eye deck, as a lot of their cards have to pay a cost to go to the graveyard in order to continue their plays. Did he just pass?
He might have just passed back.
Okay. I'm good to draw.
He just passes.
But we're going back to Khalees' turn here.
Baptiste looks like he really needed those draws from the Perelia, or maybe just having to wait out the different dimension ground.
We're entering the main phase, checking the graveyard here, probably looking for that original Sinful Spoil. Yep. We're going to have to probably put back one of those Snake Eye monsters and then get access.
Activate
Oh, we have Engraver as well. You know how we talk about Snake Eye Fiendsmith having so much follow-up in their graveyard. We're backed up with the Appaloosa as well. Already insulated from any effects from Baptiste's hand.
Wait, it says toggling Snake Eye Diabell Star.
Original going to attempt to put back the Snake Eye Diabell Star to the bottom of the deck and then add a Snake Eye from the deck to the hand. going to be adding that Snake Eye Ash. Realistically, you're going back in that deck. No need to shuffle it that much, but
No.
other way around.
Oh, sorry.
It is the big poplar.
Yeah, the original also does end up on the bottom of the
Yeah.
deck sometimes, but not by its own effect. It's usually by wanted.
Mhm.
And here comes Snake Eye Ash.
Going to be able to grab that poplar now, able to special summon it as well.
No effect poplar.
No Perulia now.
Is this enough damage represented? Not just yet.
18.
Well,
Because don't forget about
Nope,
the
not yet.
boost from.
Sending what cost?
The Divine Temple. Yep. That accounts for an extra 2,200 points of damage to the 2 Snake Eye monsters.
using Magician's Souls to send the Snake Eye
Okay,
Bellstar.
cool. We get to see the cool cards that's in his deck. I haven't been able to talk about it, but he is packing Magician's Souls in his Fiendsmith Snake Eye deck. Really cool to see here. Going to be able to send one of those spellcasters, and it looks like he put the Snake Eye's Bellstar back just to put it right back into the graveyard here.
All right, Snake Eye Ash is going to use its effect, sending itself as well as the poplar in the spell trap zone to special summon out
Snake Eye Bellstar.
the Flamebridge.
And Poplar's going to put Bellstar back into the spell trap zone, ready to move forward into the main monster zone.
I don't think there's really need to use the effect here. It's a lot more damage, but you already have the damage represented. Maybe just play around some pairs in the opponent's hand and
Does
just
he?
go into the battle phase now.
Oh, he might have the damage now with the Requiem. I think he was a little short.
That's a battle.
Yep. He's going to do the math. Baptiste wants to make sure it is the end for him.
The card attack for 24.
And yep, he
That is
realizes
enough.
the math, and that's it.
Is